The Democratic Alliance says it will appeal the Western Cape High Court ruling. The ruling today deemed the party's cessation of de Lille's membership unlawful and invalid.
In delivering the verdict, Judge Andre Lecrancy said the DA's Federal Legal Council was itself not properly constituted. De Lille's membership was rescinded in May following a radio interview in which she indicated she would resign as soon as she cleared her name.
The determination by the first respondent that the applicant has ceased to be a member of the DA in terms of clause 3.5.1.2 of its federal constitution is declared to be unlawful and invalid and is reviewed and set aside with costs.
Another victory for City of Cape Town Mayor Patricia de Lille. The Western Cape High Court ruled in her favor that the DA did not allow a due process in ousting her from the party.
This victory today is not just about me. This is a victory for the people of the City of Cape Town. Because now I feel energized. I can continue to go out and deliver services to the most poorest people in our city, to the most vulnerable, and continue to serve the people of the City of Cape Town. I've always put my faith in the independence of our judiciary. And again today, that faith that I've had in our judiciary has come out to be vindicated.
And another loss for the DA against de Lille.
The Democratic Alliance notes the judgment handed down today by the Cape High Court. We will be appealing this judgment. We don't feel that the correct interpretation of the DA Constitution or the Federal Legal Commission rules was applied. Also, we don't think that this judgment was in the best interests of the people of the City of Cape Town. The judgment went very much on the technicalities surrounding our FLC and our procedures. None of these substantive issues have been touched on. There are still many questions that need to be answered.
It's significant that it was a full bench, meaning the judges wanted an authoritative ruling that is unlikely to be overturned on appeal, and it means that the DA will now be required to reconstitute their federal executive and go through the same decisions properly following legal advice. They may, of course, also seek to bring the disciplinary actions on the allegations Musi Maimane read out before her, as well as seeking to abolish her membership of the DA. Fortunately for the DA, the 2019 elections are not municipal elections but a general election, meaning Parliament and the provincial legislatures, so they're not affected by that.
Cape Townians also had their say about the ruling.
I don't want to contextualize it in a sense of hair being black or whatsoever, but I think DA is spending a lot of resources in unnecessary things. They should, instead of fighting Patricia de Lille, they should have spent all the resources that they have to develop and change the lives of the black people in the Western Cape.
Having to look at it from my perspective, I don't see any benefit for myself, but for herself it's like a good thing and she got what she wanted, so yeah.
I think it's great. I think she's done a lot for Cape Town. You can definitely see, compare it to Joburg, you can see the difference. I don't think she really did anything too wrong. So considering our government, she's done an excellent job.
The official opposition party in the Cape Town City Council, the ANC, says it welcomes the judgment. It says it hopes that the DA and de Lille could put their differences aside for the smooth running of the city. De Lille is expected back in court on Thursday. She says she wants access to the Steenhuisen report, which found that she could be guilty of gross misconduct. She also wants the High Court to set the report aside. Nomawethu Solwandle, SABC News, Cape Town.
So, just to the name. Let's speak now to DA National spokesperson Solly Malatsi. He's with us in our studio in Sea Point. Mr. Malatsi, thank you very much. So after all your efforts, and there have been many attempts to dislodge Patricia de Lille, but she remains now a DA member and the Mayor of Cape Town.
Good evening, Francis, and good evening to your viewers. Well, we note the judgment of the High Court. We're considering all our options. The reality of the situation is that, we are where we are now because the mayor had tried every effort to deal with this issue outside the structures of the party, which had been put in place in order to address this issue. However, as the judgment of the court has ruled, we'll explore all our options, including an appeal, because we believe that the judgment as is provides a fundamental misinterpretation of how the Federal Legal Commission was composed, and that has devastating circumstances and implications for how the party enforces discipline and enforces the discipline of its members going forward. However, with regards to the mayor, there are still fundamental issues that remain because the judgment dealt with procedural issues rather than substantive issues. There are fundamental issues that remain that affect, the mayor's leadership in the city of Cape Town, her relationship with the DA caucus in the city of Cape Town, and some of the fundamental questions include the question that did she or did she not actually send the SMS to Councillor Xanthia Limbeck asking her to prioritize a particular candidate for the vacancy of city manager because it was favored by the mayor.
All right, so you're bringing up something that wasn't even considered by the court. Let's go back. Are you saying that a full bench, 3 judges at least, can't interpret your constitution?
The reason our judicial system provides for appeals is so that, those that are not satisfied with the outcomes at the High Court level can pursue it at the next available court. Our position is that the manner in which the judgment was made and our understanding of our own structures of the party and how they operate is different to how the court, reached its conclusion. And we've got the option of an appeal, and it is one that we will embrace.
Federal Legal Commission, does this bring into doubt everything that this body and your party has been doing for years?
Hence our response with regards to the manner in which the judgment was reached at, because what the judgment incorrectly concludes has implications on the decisions that body has taken since its composition and since it has been active, and it goes beyond, the case of Patricia de Lille. Hence, we are saying that the most appropriate thing to do going forward would be to appeal that so that we can, address the effects that it would have on our ability to, hold our members accountable in line with the constitution of the organization.
What would you say to those who say that the fact that you use this law somewhere in one of your constitutional booklets that has never been used before, as far as I'm aware, was a little bit desperate? You jumped on a radio interview. You jumped on that when you say they're real issues against Patricia de Lille.
Well, you seem to not have the full background of the issue. The reality of the situation is that the cessation clause was adopted by the Federal Congress of the Democratic Alliance. Patricia de Lille expressed an intention to resign, from the organization during an interview with one particular broadcaster. Subsequent to that, the party wrote to her, as is required by our disciplinary processes, asking her to provide reasons as to why she should not have her membership ceased as a result of that public declaration.
Mr. Malatsi, there's no misunderstanding. I'm not questioning that. I'm saying you used a law, this clause that had never been used before. Is it not a sign of desperation? Again, you jumped on a radio interview rather than anything else substantively against her.
No, there's everything substantial to that. What I'm responding to you is that the cessation clause indicates and provides the steps that the party can take in seizing an individual's membership on the party. And one of those is if a member makes a public declaration or expresses an intention to resign from the party, you hold them accountable based on that clause. The substantive issues regarding the conduct of the mayor and her management of the city and the management of the caucus remain. And that is why we're bringing that to the fore to say to you that the fundamental questions remain at play, because the judgment was focusing on the procedural aspect of how the party got to a decision regarding the cessation of a membership. If we go back to the fundamental issues which affect her governance of the city, you would remember that the caucus which she lead, in its majority, has expressed its loss of confidence in her because of her style of leadership. There is an independent report from Bowman which she has refused to cooperate with. In addition to that, an independent investigation that was instructed by counsel found prima facie evidence of gross negligence and gross dereliction of duty as a result of the mayor's management and governance approach to the city. Those are fundamental issues that remain.
But the public, from our, it's only anecdotal, but we went out today and spoke to people on the ground in Cape Town, and they're saying things like, she hasn't done anything too wrong. Now, surely this is a failing on the part of the DA. You've gone after a prominent politician, but you failed to convince people why, and no matter what the truth is, you're looking nasty. Do you agree?
The general membership of the organization understands the case that the party has presented against Patricia de Lille. And that has been consistently, explained to the membership, and the response of the membership has been positive to how the party has been dealing with this issue. Of course, we would have preferred not to have a protracted public fight with, a member of the party who so happens to lead a metro in the city. But we did not choose this route that we found ourselves in. It is one that, the mayor, through her belligerence, has dragged us to be where we are. Our focus is to ensure that regardless of this particular chapter, that service delivery continues in the city of Cape Town. Hence, there's been a very strong mayoral committee led by Deputy Mayor Ian Nielsen in the city of Cape Town to ensure that service delivery remains at the highest level possible that the people of Cape Town are accustomed to.
Thank you very much for your time. DA National Spokesperson Solly Malatsi. And let's stay with this story. Pungani.
Well, thank you, Francis. Cape Town Mayor Patricia